The U.S. State Department confirms a second American citizen has died in Ukraine. Details are still scarce, but it happened in the northern Ukrainian city of Chernihiv, which is where an airstrike also killed a family of 5. Russia is relentlessly attacking areas from a distance with shelling and airstrikes. Mariupol has seen some of the worst attacks. Rescue efforts are underway after Russian strikes hit a theater sheltering civilians, including children. Many people are also trapped in the city without water or electricity. Meanwhile, Russia is encountering resistance from Ukrainian troops. U.S. defense officials say Russian troops are largely stalled in their advances on all fronts. CBS News correspondent Tom Hanson joins me now for more. Hi there, Tom. So we are hearing about Russian troops being bogged down across Ukraine. Where are they now? Yeah, as you mentioned, Elaine, they have stalled in certain parts of the country, but there are some areas that we are monitoring closely. Let's start with the capital city of Kyiv, right here. This is where the Ukrainian military says that they have launched a successful attack against Russian troops up in the northwest that has led to mass casualties. Now, over here in Kharkiv, one of the areas that's been hit incredibly hard by Russian shelling, the Russian military still has not been able to take over the city, which is ultimately the goal there. Down here in Mariupol, the site of that ongoing humanitarian crisis, the Russian military has been closing in on the city, but they are also using civilian targets more and more frequently. A very, very precarious situation right there. Now, there are two numbers that I want to point out right now. The UN estimates more than 700 civilians have been killed. 7,000 Russian troops reportedly killed as well in the conflict. Experts fear that those numbers could both be much higher. Well, Tom, more than 3 million people have fled Ukraine over the past 3 weeks. I mean, that's a remarkable number, 3 million. What are some of the countries taking them in? Yeah, so all of the countries in the surrounding areas are taking in refugees. And this is the map that shows the countries in the surrounding areas. Let's start with Poland, which has taken in 1.9 million refugees so far. Then down here in Romania, 490,000. Over to Moldova, that's 350,000. Then up to Hungary, 280, and Slovakia, 280,000, I should say, and Slovakia, 220,000. Up here in Russia and Belarus, that number is 170,000. So those are the people that have managed to successfully escape the country, but that does not account for the people who are internally displaced within the country. The UN is saying that that number sits at 1.85 million people still potentially in harm's way. So many people displaced by this violence. What is the Biden administration doing, Tom, to help potential refugees coming to the U.S.? Well, the Biden administration has been facing mounting pressure to take in refugees. They're reportedly discussing ways to help Ukrainian refugees join family that's already living in the U.S., even exploring fast-tracking their admission here that could help hundreds of Ukrainians move to safety here in the U.S. There's such a great need. We will continue to watch this closely. Tom Hanson, Tom, thank you.